I hit. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I am your host, Dave.
And today I'm Don.
Today you're Don?
Well, yeah, it was you on Wednesday.
Oh, well, there you
Today
go.
I'm me.
Wait, before we do anything else, I gotta get this out of the way. May the 4th be with you.
Absolutely. May the 4th be with you. Of course, I would say I celebrate the 4th heavily, but I really don't celebrate it every day. But still, it's cool for everybody else to join me for one day of the year.
There you go. Yes, one day a year we're all Star Wars
Hope you
nerds
watched
like
The
you.
Acolyte. Celebrated by watching The Acolyte. So hopefully we all did that.
Oh, what? Why didn't you watch something good like Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, I've seen it a million times.
Or Rogue One, you know.
I'm gonna wait till after Andor. Then I'm definitely going to watch that. I think we should probably watch that for the show and talk about maybe if there was any added value or Riz, as the kids would say.
Oh my God! Yes, we're not kidding.
Far
Sure,
from
we
it.
can. We should do that. Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna talk about. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Andor in a minute. We'll talk about, of course, we got some news, some Spider-Man 4 news, and then a little bit of X-Men news, maybe, kinda. I don't know. We'll find out if it's true or not, and then, of course, then we'll talk about, pull apart, analyze, put under the microscope Marvel's Thunderbolts, because I got a lot of thoughts about this movie. Not
Nice.
the movie
Good.
itself, but the impact of this movie.
Okay.
So we'll get to all of that.
That's exciting.
Before we get into all that, how are you doing there, Don? I wasn't here Wednesday. You and Tim took over the podcast.
Mhm.
How'd that go?
Mhm.
What's shaking?
Oh, I think that went very well. So thank you, Tim Jones, for joining me. And I was glad to see that, the audience was okay with not talking about Andor 4, 5, and 6. So we could, hash it out between you and I tonight. But nonetheless, that was good. Got to see a Star Wars movie, called Andor Season 2, Episodes 4, 5, 6. It was nice. And then, hey, it's Thunderbolts week. And if you've paid attention to the channel or maybe my social media, you'll kind of have at least a little bit of idea what I think about that movie. But I am excited to talk about it with you because there is a lot to discuss there. And then outside of that, we're not a political show. So, T'Challa, you don't have to come, you could sit on the bench there. But the place I work for as my second job is a banquet hall. And on Friday, we had this fundraiser, and Vivek Ramaswamy was the keynote speaker. And it was just cool because he retweeted part of his speech there. So I don't know. It was just kind of cool to see this guy with millions of followers and oh, hey, no one over on this earth, but hey, that's where I work. So there you go. That's about all the exciting stuff I had for this week. What about you, Dave? Any more paintings or anything going on?
Ooh, pardon me. Yeah, well, obviously, first off, I guess I wasn't here Wednesday because it was my son's birthday. He didn't want a party, so just basically a sister and brother-in-law and nieces all came over, and we just got sandwiches from his favorite place. It's low key. Did have a birthday cake. I had a couple gifts for him. I did do a painting of him for him, not of him, for him, for his birthday of Persona 5. I don't know if anyone here watching plays Persona 5, but that's his favorite video game, and the main character is this character called the Joker, but not the Joker from DC. He's a totally different character. So I did a painting of him, and I don't know, he seemed to like it, but You know how
Wow.
your children can be sometimes. Uh,
Hell yeah.
so there was that.
I didn't
I
realize that. What a set of cojones on that creator to be like, hey, fuck it. We'll do the Joker. Well,
yeah. Um, and then I have joined Deviant Art. I know I'm, I don't know how many, like a decade late on it. So yeah, I'm Dave's WB over there. So if you're an artist and you are on Deviant Art, check me out. And it's the same as my Instagram and everything out. It's Dave SWB. There's a long story behind that. Uh, it's my email. For those in the know, that's my main email address, and it's just like it's something I started from a long time ago, but became my email, so I just use it for everything now. And but anyway, yes, so I'm on there, and I'm like shocked. There are people are actually like liking my stuff and commenting, and you
yeah.
give edges to people there, and uh, they're one of their things are llamas because llamas are cool, and people
Oh,
keep llamas. So yeah, it's cool. I'm enjoying that aspect. I put a bunch of my paintings up there, and yeah, people are liking them. Um,
nice.
yeah. Other than that, I saw a movie and got caught up on Andor. Just finished watching it this afternoon. The last 3 episodes. Um, it didn't go where I was expecting it to go, but there were things that, and I'm glad we're here talking about it because there were things in the episode that kind of in the episodes that, especially the fifth and sixth one, that kind of confused me a little bit. Um,
Okay.
and, and like maybe I missed something in episode one, but Bix is a drug addict, or did they just introduce that?
No, they just kind of introduced that. I'd say that was probably at the end of episode 3 where we saw her dropping the death sticks.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a newer thing that they explored. Again, did they touched upon in the episode 3, and then obviously these next 3 episodes, because apparently they're releasing 3 episodes a week at this point because their story arcs in the season seem to be 3 episodes. So here we go. I know I was kind of critical of that, so I won't dive back into that. So that is a more recent thing.
Okay. All right. So it wasn't like something they built up to.
Yeah,
Something dropped behind me. My whole room shook.
they did. Let's hope flames do not follow. Although it
Yeah.
is red, so
Yeah. I noticed my backdrop was crooked. I'll fix that in a minute.
so
But um
that's why you need to make your backdrop just all your junk like I do. And
and then the other thing that I don't know, it didn't confuse me, but it was just like, oh, was Forrest Whitaker's character, Saul
Saul Guerrero.
Guerrera. Yeah. So did they
Why does he get
answer?
high off fumes? I don't know.
I was about to say, did they answer the question of what was that thing he was breathing in
Yeah,
Rogue One? Yeah, he
that's
was.
my interpretation. Is motherfucker just likes to huff gas. Fuck it. Let me lead a rebel faction and get high. Okay.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely seems that way. And then, um, but he's also like nuts. Like,
Oh yeah, to the nth degree. He is batshit crazy. Absolutely.
yeah, Forrest Whitaker is a good actor, and I think he does a good job of portraying that. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, um,
He gives it his all. That's for damn sure. And I appreciate that.
um, I knew that I kind of felt like that raid was going to go bad when they were trying to steal from or
Yeah.
get the convoy ship so they could prove they were building an armory thing. Like, yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was going to go bad because like Cassian was like, you guys don't know what you're doing. This is not a good idea. And so yeah, they accidentally shot someone basically, which that was weird too. Um, I didn't care for how that was handled. Like, you know, they introduced this lesbian couple,
Yeah,
and like, okay, fine, whatever. We want to be progressive. Do your thing. And
sure.
then it's one of them that gets killed, and the other one is like castrating the guy who's obviously upset, who accidentally killed. He didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident because of the other idiot. It was really his fault. The guy who showed up and he was like, "Look, just turn around. You don't want to be here." And he's like, "No,
Is that what he did?
That's what it
Uh,
felt like. Like, I can go
I
where I
know.
want.
Uh,
That was like that's
yeah,
what it felt like. I can go where I want kind
yeah.
of attitude.
That guy has all sorts of sass in this episode. Yeah,
Yeah, and then so he points the gun at him and says, like, just leave. Like, he doesn't want to do this. And this guy is insisting, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and then they struggle for the
yeah,
gun and it goes off.
yeah.
Uh
I think that whole thing was, we're supposed to feel sorry for that character. Oh yeah, absolutely, Thrawn. That was exactly what I was thinking as I'm
yeah, they all have
watching
French
these
accents, so yeah.
episodes. Yeah, this is space France, in the space French revolution there. But definitely you wouldn't think that that's a character they would kill. So I think that was a little bit of a surprising and jarring moment. And of course, her lover reaction to it is somewhat understandable because that dude was told, like, hey, no one has blasters except for us two. He didn't follow that rule. And then yeah, the guy came in, blah, 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 blah. And then after all that went down, then the dude that basically caused the whole thing was like, oh, I'll carry her, don't worry about it. Like, so I'm with you there. That wasn't a bad scene, but it was a little bit of a strange scene.
Yeah.
And definitely, I guess they really wanted to give her a reason to make that speech, about her girlfriend and how great she was and how much of a warrior she was, and
Yeah,
blah
a
blah
little
blah
silly.
blah. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and yeah, I mean, it's the French. What do you want? Uh
Yeah,
so,
unlike the real France, these French people were fighting. Were prepared to fight. Never mind, that's a dumb joke. I should stop that
yeah.
one.
Um so yeah, no, and it's like, so it just felt, I don't know, it's like Cassian said these people aren't ready, they don't know what they're doing, like this is a bad idea, and they pushed, and basically I can't think of his name, the quote unquote leader, the guy with the white hair, like, who sends
Oh
Cassian,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Luthen.
Luthen.
I thought you were talking
Luthen,
about James
like, like pushed it,
Corbin.
um and obviously was wrong. Yeah. So it was just like, okay. And then,
He's taken off his game a little bit, though. That was one thing that surprised me about these episodes was that Luthen was a little bit out of sorts. The
yeah,
main reason is the fact that I guess some of the shit he was selling turned out to be fake, and then so they were going to do this like this reappraisal of all his shit. But the problem being is like the shit that he sold, he had bugged, so they were going to find it.
right.
So that was the whole big thing. But he was like, you just don't see Luthen worried, but he was just all sorts of worried in this episode about shit. So that was something a little bit different there that I did not expect.
Yeah. No, agreed. How to, yeah. I mean, the thing is too, like, there's obviously a comment made in one of the episodes. It was either the second or third one. When Cassian gets back, talks to Bix, and then Bix says, "Oh, Luthen came here," and then he goes confronts Luthen. Oh yeah, but that was in the sixth episode, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it'd be better if I was on my own, right? And it's like, well, yeah, because he's on his own by the time we get to Rogue One, so most of these people are going to die. Like,
Yes.
Like that's the
Probably
whole
even
thing.
Luthen, because we don't see any of Luthen in Rogue
No,
One.
we don't. There's not even a mention of him in
Not at
Rogue
all.
One. Yeah. So like yeah, like this all these people are gonna die. I think it's gonna be Cassian is gonna end up being the one who's like in charge of Luthen's part of the resistance, and then that's
Yeah.
how he gets sucked into Rogue One. And it's like, okay. But yeah, like just a little pre-shadowing there. Like, yeah, everyone's gonna and I thought more people were gonna die by this point, you know. So um I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Are we just gonna get one big final episode where they're all killed? So Cecil and what's his Cecil, whatever his name is, and the girl, what's the girl's name?
Daedra.
Daedra. So like that's the other one part I was confused about. Are they setting him up to become sympathetic to these people and end up going against the Empire, or
He's definitely being used by Daedra.
right? And that's what I think. Like that's going to get revealed, and he's going to be like, "What have I done with my life?" You know?
Well, that's the question for me, because if that is revealed, is he going to care? Or is he so just happy to even be used by her, particularly when apparently every now and then when he gets an hour off, he gets to come in and turn the lights off, for a little brown chicken, brown cow, Um, so, it's not like he's not getting just desserts. Plus, she already for at least a little bit kind of made the mother act a little better, although she's back in this, which she has some very interesting dialogue, even though, and when I say his mother, just, that's the woman that sounds like she gargled ball bearings with spikes on them and washed it down with the acid from RoboCop that melted that guy. Um, but so she's like back in the picture where she's talking about this mockery of Palpatine. Very, very interesting dialogue. But I will say that does make me, I know she's a little bit older, but man, the Empire is not that old at this point. I don't know. It just seems like people are way, way into like being loyal to the Empire. I mean, obviously they show as a part of like this, uh, you
So
know, look at the Empire. They're doing this Pledge of Allegiance basically to the Empire, the Senate.
well, I mean, they showed in I think it's episode 4. They say that it's 3 BBY, so 3 years before the Battle
Yeah.
of Yavin.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's been like 20, 30 years, right? Like, I don't know. It just seems way more established than you would think it would be for just like a brand new,
well,
couple
it would
decade old.
like, because how old's Luke supposed to be by the time we get to New Hope, right? 16, 17.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah, it's not even
it's
like,
like 14 years. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Um, Thrawn says taped show. No, it's not a taped show, Thrawn. I'm
yeah.
not. um.
We
So
don't do
yeah.
that no more.
Um. So yeah, it's what you call it? Yeah. So it's they're like the amount of loyalty after a little over a decade and a half. It's like, is it just stoked by fear? Is it like, but
I
see, the thing
mean,
is, it's also that idea of like the upper crust are doing well,
right.
so they
And
don't care.
they've shown that in the last season where like they've shown where the upper crust is like fucking Republic, Empire, who gives a fuck? Like, let's
Right.
go party. Let's go party. Let's go put our hair in top knots and wear flowing robes. That's all I give a fuck about.
San says people want to work for the Empire because it's the means to a better life. The Empire isn't evil yet, only ruthless. Well, that's true. They don't have a giant space laser killing people. Um,
Not yet, but definitely I think we're gonna see shit that kind of sells that a little bit more and really sparks the rebellion.
I
You
think
know, that
it's
the Empire's up to some fuck shit.
I also think it's interesting that um how do I say is like the at the end of what's the name of that movie? Revenge of the Sith. At the end of Revenge of the Sith, they show Vader and Palpatine on the bridge of a Star Destroyer looking out, and you see you see the frame of the Death Star being built, but yet in the what you call it in this, they're like still getting that they're trying to get that mineral so they can finish building the Death Star. So it seems weird to me, like I get it's a movie and whatever. We shouldn't tear it apart too much, but it's just like, well, wait a minute. They started building it before they had everything they needed to build it. Like,
Yeah,
um,
that's possible, but yeah, that is an interesting thought. For kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. Yeah.
Kasan asks, "Are we in agreement that Andor is the best Star Wars produced by Disney?"
Nope.
Uh,
I love it, but nope.
don't you dare say the acolyte.
No, no, absolutely not. But I was, for whatever reason, over the weekend just watching like the fight between Obi-Wan and Vader, the fight between Baylan Skoll and Ahsoka, the interactions between Ahsoka and like Anakin Skywalker. And just I was actually just thinking to myself, like, man, I mean, I really like Andor, and it's really quality stuff, and I'm hanging on every word that people are saying. I mean, we get an hour, 3 hours worth of episodes per week, and I'm fucking on that shit. But I really do, for me personally, I just really feel that shit. The fight and the dialogue and everything between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan show, and all the
Yeah,
shit between Anakin and Ahsoka in the Ahsoka show. Like, I really like the Ahsoka show. So, that's so me personally. I guess so. I can't agree with you, but this is a great show, and I love it so much. But it's not the best to me, to believe it or not. It's not. I really like Ahsoka and all the shit that that's bringing.
yeah, agreed. Um, yeah, maybe it's the Last Jedi. No, kidding. All right. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious where this is going and how they're going to wrap everything up. I don't know how many episodes there are altogether. It is
I
annoying that
think there's 6 more episodes, 2 more weeks. And where they're gonna wrap everything up, I pretty much think this is all gonna crescendo into a lot of Gorman are gonna die, and Mon Mothma is gonna use that as a reason to go from undercover to fuck Emperor Palpatine, where she needs to then run from the Empire and butt up against that shit that happened in Rebels, where she needed to be saved, and boom, and there's our Rebel alliance. So that's what I think. But again, I think this is also going to butt right up to Rogue One. You
yeah,
know, like I bet you there's going to show Andor like going through the door, and then like you play Rogue One, and oh, there's Andor coming through that door or some shit.
yeah. I feel like because he's like right that the movie starts, he's meeting someone and
Yeah,
like that's it's going to end with him going to whatever that mission is. Yeah.
yeah, all day.
Thronkill military does it all the time. Build something ready to use a new technology, but not yet developed and produced. Yeah, this is true. I actually know somebody that works for a company that engineers things for the military, and yeah, they start building things before they like fully have a plan. So
So before you masterfully, go to another segue into another subject, what are your thoughts of the Andor series season 2 in general? I'm loving it. Like 9 out of 10 shit for me. What about you though? What are your thoughts? And how do you really like it? Are you enjoying the show?
I don't know, because it's funny. We talked about this in text, and it's annoying that they're dropping 3 episodes at once. Like, to me, that's hurting it. I would rather watch
Hmm.
one episode and wait a week so I can digest that one episode. But like having to binge 3 episodes so then we can talk about it, I'm
Yeah.
like confused on, well, wait, when did this happen exactly? Um, and I know that's not talking about the quality of the show, but it is a little bit. Like, it's making it frustrating. It's all starting to bleed together, and um, there isn't. There's too much of the like political intrigue type stuff with Mon Mothra and all that. I can throw all that away. Like, I get
Okay.
I get it, but it's very frustrating. Like, there's too much of that. Like, just show me a little bits here and there as a background character. Like, she's not doing anything in the show to me that feels that important to building a rebellion, you know. Um and I feel like we're not going to get much Saul Guerrera either, because I think like they probably just got Forrest Whitaker for a couple of days and filmed
Mm-hmm.
what they could with him. But I'm kind of curious, like, how what he's doing ties into where the rebellion's going as well. Um, and whatever happened to all those people on the planet that was a weird episode too, where he lands on the planet to meet someone with the Thai Avenger, and the guy's gone. I guess he was dead or whatever. And he comes on against these two factions that are fighting each other, and he escapes and he leaves. Like, what happened to those people on that planet? Like, are they all just dead now? Like, it is.
It could
It's
show up
like
later.
it seems weird. Like, if you're doing a show like this, and we're telling the story of how we got to Rogue One, then throwing in details that aren't important to the overall story. I don't feel they were. Maybe I missed something with that. Just feels silly, you know.
Well, I guess to me, I took it as they're really just kind of sprinkling in how unorganized, unskilled, and untrained and unfit a lot of these rebel factions are, and really speak to the leadership that forms it, which at this point is like Luthen, Saul Guerrero, and then Mon Mothma being the figurehead. I like what
Um,
Thrawn's saying here, though. The use of physical tech with knob switches makes it feel grounded and yet
yeah.
worlds away. Lots of aux cables where everything looks like a guitar pedal board. That is something that people really may not analyze, or at least not recognize, is that if you look at the prequels, all the technology is smooth and touch screens and very streamlined. And now, as we're getting closer to the Rebel era, where the first movies were made with a lot of practical effects, we're seeing that the Rebels, at least,
hmm
they have to resort to using like very low tech, quote
Yeah.
unquote, to kind of match up with that, because they don't have the unlimited resources that the Empire has. Although the Empire doesn't have unlimited resources, they kind of get into that a little bit, where they're showing where the Empire is like pillaging, basically, to pay for its shit, which is cool. So I really like I really like the table setting that this series does. I really do.
So okay. So here's the thing. So uh, Ksan says Donna's right. Andor is showing a
Absolutely.
fracture. The rebellion isn't centralized and new and finding its way. Exactly. But we're 2 seasons. We're a season and a half in, and like it's still that way. Like, give us the defining moment that like really brings people together. And I
Oh,
get
like
it.
in Rise of Skywalker?
It's like, I get it, because it's like it's kind of that's what Rogue One is, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they take the ship to go get the plans, blah 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 blah, and then all the people start coming together, all the fractions come together in that battle. So then it's like, okay, so then did we need 2 seasons of this, right? Like, what I wanted to see, getting back to those guys on that planet that were fighting each other, like, what I wanted to see, because it felt like that's where they were going with it, but then all of a sudden he just escapes and leaves, and it feels like a throwaway storyline, is they were showing him being a leader. Like, oh, collect the rainwater, oh, do this, like him. They kept doing what what Cassian was saying, and like they could have got to the part where like he now had a small band that was like loyal to him on this planet, but they didn't go that way with it, and it's just like, that's why I felt like a waste. They could have done something with it. They could have made it, maybe tied it into the battle where they got the plans, like.
They could have, but that's not the character of Cassian Andor, man. The character of Cassian Andor is a character that will watch a room full of his brethren burn if it means victory against the Empire. He's not a per se leader. I'm telling you, that's the character of Cassian. He's a lone not James Gunn, James Bond type motherfucker, who's willing to do whatever it is. Again, we see how radical Luthen is, and we've already talked about between me and you that we think he's going to take over that Luthen role. Well, yeah, Luthen sells out other rebel factions all the time. In fact, in season 1, he had to decide, which rebel group should he allow to basically live, Saul Guerrera's group or the other group. Now, he chose Saul Guerrera's group because he just thought, okay, your group is more effective, so if I have to sell out one group, it's going to be the other. It's a lot of tough choices to make, a lot of tough choices that Andor's had to make. That's why they had that scene between him and Bix where she's pissed off because he killed a dude.
Yeah.
But he could just compartmentalize it like, yeah, I understand we fought against him one day, but then today he was my target because he's fucking shit up. So, get used to it. So I don't see Cassian Andor as some great leader of a battalion of troops. No, he is a dirty spy who is going to get shit done one way or another.
I guess.
You guess right, Dave.
All right. Well, we'll keep watching.
We talked a lot about that. That was fun. Thank you.
Well, we had to. It's May 4th. It's, it's the law. You got to talk a lot of Star Wars on May 4th.
Yeah.
But we have other things to talk about. So, with all that being said, before we get to that, here, speaking of Star Wars, here's Darth Don to tell you where you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Don here. You must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gundark named Brie Larson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
All right. It's time for some nerd news. We only got 2 articles this week because we got some movie stuff to talk about. But the first one, I'm happy about this. It has been confirmed that J.K. Simmons will be returning for Spider-Man: Brand New Day in the role of J. Jonah Jameson. Um, Also confirmed Zendaya is returning. Okay, we knew Sadie Sink was coming back, and of course Tom Holland. That's the only confirmed cast so far. But the fact that we're getting J.K. Simmons back as um, J. Jonah Jameson, I think the role he was born to play
Mhm.
has me excited. What do you think?
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. Why not, right? Who's going to do a better job? Plus, the actor is still very much in the general zeitgeist with him voicing Omni Man. So yeah, I mean, there's just as long as he's willing to do it. Now, don't get me wrong, he's probably doing it on the cheap because if you listen to, did you see that Jeremy Renner stuff about Marvel offering him
Well,
half?
yeah, I was going to bring that up, but then I was like,
So
eh.
no, I mean, no, we definitely need to talk about it because that is definitely proof that Disney is really trying to lower costs of these movies and these shows. And the fact that they were so tone deaf and so worried about doing so that they would take Jeremy Renner, who got ran over, and offer him half so that he could then go on a
So
podcast and say, "Hey, you offered me half because I'm half a man. What's up? What the fuck's up with that?"
the argument with that one was we're getting off topic, but the argument with that one was he had a much reduced role in the second season of Hawkeye. It was going to be
Hmm.
concentrating morely on Kate Bishop, and he was only going to like do a cameo. That's why that's what Disney's saying. That's why he got a smaller offer. Um, and he was just like, nah, I don't want to take less money, which then has now turned into he possibly isn't even going to be in Hawkeye season 2. So, um,
Which is totally fucking dumb.
yeah,
Because here we talk about Hawkeye. No one ever cared about Hawkeye until Jeremy Renner played him in the MCU. So here they struck gold. They got one of their fucking C list characters to basically the A tier. And I think this is a fumble because I don't watch Hawkeye. Yeah, I know. I don't watch the Hawkeye show because of not Jeremy Renner. Like his shit was great in that show and was really kind of the reason I watched it. So I'm not interested in Hawkeye without Jeremy Renner. So they're gonna have a rough time. That's
yeah.
what I'm telling you.
No, I don't disagree with you. Again, it was a weird choice to offer him less money because I also imagine that he has a contract that says he gets paid at least this much for things that he's in, and to turn around and try to and anyone remember um I can't think of the actor's name, the first guy who played Rhodey um in the first Iron Man
Oh,
movie,
Terrence Howard.
Terrence
Yeah, he was
Howard.
actually in the news recently.
But he was, that's what happened to him. They offered him less money because Robert Downey Jr. was the standout in that movie, and they were like
Right.
they needed to offer him more money, so they were going to cut his salary, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to do it for less money," and then he was written out of the MCU. So, um, but it's harder with Jeremy Renner because he's been Hawkeye in so many things other than MASH, and it's just you didn't catch that joke.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
MASH, Hawkeye, Alan Alda's character. That was his character. You didn't watch MASH as a kid?
Fuck no. I thought that was the most boring shit ever. That was the shit that like came on after my cartoons. It used to piss me off. I know it had the guy that dressed like a woman to try and get out of the army. That's all I remember about it.
um,
Sorry, Dave. I know
all
we're
right.
both Gen X, but I'm at the tail end of Gen X there.
Yeah, that's true. All right. And then all right. So yeah, I think it's silly. We shall see what happens because uh they're supposed to. I mean, you would think he's going to come back for one of the Avengers movies. So, um, but if they're going to piss him off, that's the other
You got
problem.
you got to be like J.K. Simmons and take less money.
Yeah,
Although it's speculation, I guess. Let me keep.
yeah, we don't know, and that's Sony, not Disney. So Sony might be offering them more
I'm
money.
sure their accounting's not any easier than Disney's. So.
No, I'm sure. So,
Raven exists, and so does Mobius.
so I think we're all excited for that because I think Brand New Day is going to be a little more important. We'll definitely get into that. Brand New Day is going to be a little bit more important than people realize when it comes out next year. There's definitely something that happened in this last movie that we're going to talk about. But yeah, so that's that. And then of course the other news, I had to bring this one up because it's X-Men related. But Ryan Reynolds, we said not that long ago that he is working on an ensemble movie, possibly for Marvel. Well, it's come out that it's possibly an X-Men movie with Deadpool in it. So what do you think there, Don? You want Ryan Reynolds handling the X-Men for the
I
MCU?
want Ryan Reynolds. Oh, I mean, yes, for the X-Men movies. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I wrote my thoughts down here when I heard Ryan Reynolds' possible X-Men movie. Yes. Oh God, give it to me. Give it to me now. Give it to me deep. Oh God, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That was from. I'm sorry. That was a transcript from a porno. I found what I'm sorry. I sound. Here's my thoughts. Oh God, yes. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Give me the deep lore now.
Okay,
Oh
okay.
God, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I got it mixed up there, but that's my thoughts on Ryan Reynolds with that, because I think with Deadpool 2 is like the greatest X-Men movie ever made. I think Ryan Reynolds is a very big closet X-Men fan, telling by his movies, and so absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's X-Force, because it does say kind of like, it's going to be not X-Men mainline. There's already a director and writer and shit for that.
Yeah.
But definitely this reeks of X-Force, and I said it on a recent show that I absolutely want that with Deadpool.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously he's going to write it from a Deadpool centric
Sure.
story, and it's going to have his humor in it, and we love his humor, but like, it's also going to be like a one and done type story too. So I'm curious, because yeah, he definitely is a fan. Like, you got to love
Mm-hmm.
that about Ryan Reynolds. He's definitely a fan of the character and of comics in general. I mean, he was willing to star as Green Lantern in one of the worst superhero movies of all time. So he's got to love
Yeah.
this material. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think we'll see. I think you're right. I think it'll be like X Force, tied in with the X-Men somehow. It'll splinter off. I
Well,
mean,
X Force is just X-Men, is an X-Men team that's just willing to do the dirty work, right? Like
yeah,
the X-Men team, they got to be the heroes. They got to be on the front page of the newspapers, minimizing collateral damage. X Force, they're gonna go kill motherfuckers, in a stealthy way.
yeah,
So that's definitely Deadpool-esque for sure. It'll work.
yeah. It'll work. It'll work. We'll see.
Do it.
Um,
Do it now.
are they going to let them use their powers in the movie, or just stand next to him with a name on a jersey? Is that reference to
Yeah.
Deadpool 2?
I think, yeah, no, I think so, because obviously not only, but most of the X-Men you see in that movie are like CG or in a room, and they don't use their powers or nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
I get what he's getting at there. Like, yeah, let's have some full blown mutant powers shit on an X-Force team.
Yeah, and
I
no
just
tricks like
realized
Van.
X-Force, and again, I'm presuming that's what they're talking about. They're not the most flashy team. They're made of like trackers and stealthies and stabbies, you know.
Yeah, and no more Vanisher tricks.
Yeah, yeah.
He's there.
You
You
don't
just got to
need that,
believe.
right?
Until he died at the end.
Yeah.
Which I think he's the only one that he didn't save, if I remember correctly. Uh,
No. He didn't save Zeitgeist or the guy that Terry
oh,
Crews
that's right.
played.
Yeah, but he did
I
save.
love that fucking movie.
Make Under Siege with X-Men. Says Ron.
Why the fuck? Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
All
I'm
right.
down.
All right. So yeah, we're excited. Let's see if it happens. Fingers crossed, toes crossed. We shall see. All right. You know what? I think maybe there's a slight break here before we get to the news. Let's see.
There's something wrong.
The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep people safe?
That's right, boys and girls. It's time to talk about the latest offering from Marvel, the MCU, and that is Marvel's Thunderbolts. Before we get into it, let's talk some numbers. Box office numbers right now, as of this recording or this live stream, it has made 76 million domestically, 86.1 million internationally, so 162.1 million altogether. So not bad, but not,
I don't think that makes
classic.
up the. Yeah, I don't know if that made money yet. I mean, I'm sure it will eventually, but yeah, definitely not the.
And over on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critics score of 88% and a audience score of 94%. That feels about right for this movie. Actually, you know what? Let me just look it up real quick, see what they have published. The budget. Now that you brought that up, because
I know it's in the 250s.
Why did it bring me to the? I don't want to see about the comic book. Bring me to the movie. Come on, you pain in the. Oh, actually, you know what? Thunderbolts budget. That's probably the easiest way to do it. 180 million. So technically, they're kind of there for the making the budget back, but of course that doesn't include marketing and all of that. So we'll see. The one thing I will say on those lines is that this is a movie a lot of people weren't sure about. But I think once people started going to see it and were like, "Hey, this is actually pretty good," hopefully that means more people will go see it like by next weekend, and it'll make its money. We'll see. I mean, no movies don't normally do that, but hey, Mother's Day is coming up. Maybe you don't know what to do for Mother's Day. Take your mom to go see Thunderbolts. So, all right. I did not do an audience poll for this one because I forgot.
Fuck them.
But let's do what we normally do. Let's start off with what was your initial. I mean, everyone saw your initial reaction, but
Yeah.
I'm going to make you say some of that stuff again. What was your initial reaction, non-spoiler, to Thunderbolts?
My initial reaction was very positive. Originally giving this 8.5 out of 10. This is a curious case, although it's something I think that people should pay attention to because, really, to me, now that I've put more thought into my review, I will say that the story is the absolute weak point of this movie. However, with that said, the characters, at least the ones they choose to develop, are done very well and make this movie. Um, JD Oliva, former host of Superhero Speak, has always said that having good characters is really what's good, and I think that's where this movie delivers is the characters that it chooses to focus on, and we can get it a little bit more into that. So
Uh,
overall, I thought it was very fun. I liked the contained non-multiversal story until at least the second end credits. Um, Clearly, this is a Florence Pew Pew film. It's called Thunderbolts, but it really should probably be called Yelena. But that doesn't mean that there's not other characters that get shine, and I think they did a great job with it. So, me and the whole family had fun with this. And so, if you were on the fence, I would definitely encourage you to please go to the theaters, patronize this movie, and enjoy it. And enjoy just kind of a singular focused story, which I enjoyed.
okay. Yes, you know what? I'm not going to just say ditto, but I agree that uh, with your statement about the characters they chose to focus on. There is some character development with some of the minor characters, but like not a lot. It's yeah, and something happens within the first few minutes of the movie that was just like, oh, I guess we're doing that.
Yep.
You know,
Check.
yep. Um, eh, I liked it. You're right. It's very much an Elena movie. It's it explores the dark side of the Black Widow uh thing more so than the Black Widow movie did.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like after watching this, like not only did Black Widow come out too late, like it should have come out 5 years before it did, it also missed the boat with like what it could have done storyline wise. But okay, but this is fine. We'll get it here. Um, so yeah, I like. It's a good movie. I hate to say it, it's much better than Brave New World. Brave New World wasn't like the worst movie either. I think it's the worst of the Captain America movies. Um, but
By far.
but it's a high bar because all the Captain America movies are really good. Um, so, but it's definitely shows improvement, like in the sense of like, okay, let's get a good focused story, but it also sets up stuff for the future. Not just the end credit scene. Like there's definitely something in there at the end of the movie. It's like, oh, that's what they did.
So
Even
let's
though,
dive into
even
that.
though,
Yeah.
even though we called
Right.
it months ago
80% called it. Yes.
when they put the little asterisk in, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Uh, they're set,
So,
they're setting something up that they did in the comics, basically. So
right.
this is interesting. So yeah, but it was good. It was really good. I like David Harbour so much as Red Guardian. that like
Yes.
he is the best comic relief for a movie ever in this with
He's
heart.
me. He's the audience's like, he's our catharsis here.
Yeah.
He's the one that's really got all the he's got all the enthusiasm,
Yes.
for what's going on. And I
Yes.
love it. I'm
Um
pouring a beer just for him. I ain't gonna have to host tonight, so I'm drinking. I
I am hosting and I am drinking, so I don't know
yeah,
what that
well,
means.
you're better than me. You're better than me. But fuck yeah, man, that guy was funny. And that's what I talk about with this movie, man, the characters. Like, so let's talk about it, right? So Taskmaster, right? First
Well,
five
wait.
breaks. I go.
If you have not seen the movie and don't want spoilers, this is where you guys can bail.
Don't watch this fucking show. I'm sorry.
But if you have seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, here we go. Whew. Taskmaster is in the movie for all of 5 freaking minutes.
Yep. I love it. And in fact, not only is Taskmaster out of this fucking movie within the first 5 minutes, but like I had alluded to, they only focused on certain characters. Okay. Yeah. And so the other kind of like useless, quote unquote, for those listening to the audio only, character is Ghost. And so they used her to be the one that fucking shoots Taskmaster in the fucking face within 5 minutes of the start of this movie. And so I thought that was actually a very good choice.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna fucking kill this character that nobody gives abomination, so nobody cares. And then we're gonna use Ghost because no one gives a fuck about her. She has about 5 more lines in the fucking movie. And here we go.
No, she's got more
7,
than 5.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's got about 10 lines. But the thing is, she is so much a plot device in this movie.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Because
she's
than
the one that gets the van
Task,
so they can escape the facility.
Yep.
Like she just disappears and shows up with the van. Like that's a plot device. That's not a character.
Yeah. And she gets him out of the incinerator. Right. She's absolutely a plot device in this movie. She does all the dirty work.
Yes. Right. Where we get the John Walker, the captain, is definitely his character is explored more in this movie.
He's way better in this movie than he is
in Falcon and
the Winter Soldier. Way better. I actually kind of like the John Walker character now. I kind of get what's going on with his character. They did a great job, man. Like I said, other than Ghost, they did. And then Bucky, I think they, okay, it's Bucky. I mean, I think I read an article today. He's like one of 2 characters that in every fucking phase of the MCU. So it's Bucky. But nonetheless, he does a great job. Sebastian Stan does a great job.
Yeah.
Obviously, Yelena, I've talked about. Red Guardian. I feel like the Madam Hydra or whatever Vontaine or whatever fucking name is.
D Vontaine.
Vontaine. Duh. I forgot about that. Yeah, man, these characters. I give a fuck about Red Guardian in my life, but now he's one of my favorite characters. I like him. I like it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This is very much a character movie. Like there's no Skybeam. There is a like world threatening event with Void.
Sure, Guardians of the Galaxy wants its ending back, but we knew they had to find some fucking way for these like very street level characters to somehow take down the Sentry.
Yes.
So I'm gonna forgive that just before we get into that. It's lame, yes, but I'm gonna forgive it.
What did you think of Lewis Pullman as Bob Sentry / Void?
I thought he was great. My only problem was with why do the whole fucking make his hair blonde? Like Madam Hydra wanted, like, that's the
I
only thing I
I
didn't
thought
like
it
about Sentry.
I thought it was dumb because I thought like his hair should have, if they're gonna go the blonde route, he should have just
Right,
had his
he
hair
should
dyed
have
for the whole
just been
movie. Just
blonde.
been all blonde. Yeah.
Absolutely. That whole,
This whole
like,
thing, like, yeah.
yeah, that was a misstep. I absolutely agree. That was a misstep.
Yeah.
He should have just been blonde from the start.
Yeah, like that was a weird choice of making
It's
it
very
Madam Hydra.
overwritten. Very overwritten, that part.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff tends to be overwritten in these movies anymore.
But I'll tell you what, when that dude's the Void, like, I took an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and they were legitimately kind of fucking scared of the Void. So
yeah,
I just, as much as I'm going to talk shit about the blonde dye job out of nowhere for no reason, they hit it on the Void, man. And this breaks that trope that everybody fucks with Marvel about like the villain has got the same power as the heroes.
yeah.
We didn't get that here. Not
No,
at all.
no. I mean,
But again, they had to take the Guardian of the Galaxy ending, and that is lame. That's going to be a critique of mine, but it still kind of works. So
it was. I mean, imagine Superman with telekinetic powers.
yeah.
That's Sentry, and it's just like, yeah. How do like even with three super soldiers, like you're not taking down someone that powerful. I mean, and it's funny, right? Because it's always that age-old argument. Oh, what if Captain America fought Superman? Superman would rip him in half. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And then I mean, and it's funny too, because like the whole part, even regardless of the split personality of the Void versus Bob in the Sentry, or Sentry versus the Void, like that's all in the comics as well. But like the whole thing of like, oh, go kill them, and he's like, why? They're no threat to me. And she's like, because I'm telling you to. And he's like, why should I, like, I'm a god. Why should I take orders from you? Like you don't need the evil part. Just say that was the Void. Like that could have been Sentry, been like, wait, what? Why do I need to take orders from you? Like,
yeah, you kept me in a fucking box. You were going to incinerate me. Turns out I'm a fucking god.
Right.
Oh yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I actually like that. I actually very much respect that they didn't do that whole like, oh, he's under her control, he's going to listen to her. Like, no, right away. He's like, wait a minute.
But here's the thing,
fuck you.
And I want to ask this as a serious question. How do you go forward in a Marvel universe where the Sentry now exists?
Because the Sentry's now not going to use his powers lest the Void takes. So that's how they do it in the comics.
I know, but it's
the Sentry exists the whole fucking time. But it's like,
but the next time
Pandora's box,
the next time a Thanos level or Doctor Doom level threat shows up,
they have to weigh the options. They can be like, do we just fucking throw Sentry at him? Or and potentially the Void comes out and fucks us all, or not. I don't know. I dig it. I get it. I think that's why the Sentry is a lot better of a character than Superman or perhaps Shazam, because yes, he is that all powerful motherfucker.
Or Captain Marvel. Oh, sorry, was that out
loud? But yes, there is a inherent risk to having the Sentry take care of your problem.
True.
I like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was a good way to do it, but I feel like it's a piece they've put on the board. Now they can pull out when they write themselves into a corner, So we'll
Yeah, but
see.
that's how the MCU 616 is. Sentry's always fucking there. And every now and then he shows up. I remember one time he was a fucking horseman of apocalypse. And someone fucking rolled up to him like, "Oh, Sentry, fuck," and they blasted him. And Sentry's like, "You think that hurts?" And he just fucking rips his own skin out. It's just like, "Fuck you, you ain't got shit." Like it is a crazy character to deal with. And the fact that they gave him the schizophrenia, I know they didn't touch upon that. Well, he was talking to himself.
Yeah.
Um,
They only touch on, that's the thing. They only
Yeah.
touch on it a little bit, because in some ways he's also a plot device,
yes, absolutely.
But
And they're treating it as such, like at the
Yeah.
end of the movie, he's like, he's not suited up or nothing. He's just like, "Yeah, I did the dishes." Okay.
yeah. So we shall see how they use him going forward. I don't think they're going to introduce him and then leave him be. I feel like he's going to have a big role in something coming up.
Now, I do have complaints about this movie, so I
Oh,
don't know if you want me to fire off on those, but
well, let me get to
Let
my
me know.
first complaint.
Okay.
And it might be a shared complaint. Let's find out. Traditionally, Thunderbolt's name in the comic book comes from Thunderbolt Ross because he forms the team. But they kind of wasted the character in a way with Brave New World by making Red Hulk and then putting him in the raft. You also notice, like, they say the last president, so they don't mention who the president is now in the MCU either, which I thought was interesting. But regardless of that, where was I going with this? In this, it's stupid because we've already established that Thunderbolt is his nickname. Like in the last movie, they call him Thunderbolt Ross, and now all of a sudden it's like, no, we're named after a little league, a Pee Wee League soccer team, that
so
Elena was on as a kid.
Fucking stupid. I couldn't
beyond
believe
stupid.
that, Dave. I could not fucking believe that I heard that shit. I'm like, really?
Like,
Really?
Because originally I thought it was going to be Madam Hydra. Well, she's not Madam Hydra, but you know what? She forms the
Yeah.
team under the orders of Ross, and that's why they're called the Thunderbolts, and that's why they're like, well, we really can't be called that now because of what happened to the president. That would have been a much better story, but nope. It's a little girl's soccer team.
Yep.
Like, what? Like, that's stupid. It was so stupid.
So lame.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope, I can't deny it. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, that was a truly missed opportunity because they could have still made it work as Ross somehow, but no.
With that said, though, I'm curious. So the asterisk is there because now, as you said, we kind of predicted this, although I personally predicted that they would be dubbed the Dark Avengers. But they were dubbed
the new Avengers.
The New Avengers. Brian Michael Bendis, 2008. Bendis and Hickman seem like they're going to get a fair amount of love here from the MCU.
So, all right. So that comes from, of course, the time of
Sentry is on that team, by the way.
Avengers disassembled, and then that leads into House of M, which then leads into Civil War, where everyone was broken in half, and we got Dark Avengers, we got regular Avengers, and then we had New Avengers, right? And Cap led the New Avengers, at one point. So and Tony was leading the regular Avengers.
Do you think that's how they get past the because at the end of this movie we learn, I'm sorry, I've got ahead of myself. I'm going to shut up. Go ahead, Dave.
And I mean, that whole thing is it's silly because because that comes at the end of the movie, and it's DeFontaine just trying to save her butt by going, "That's who just saved New York, the new Avengers," and they come out and everyone's cheering, and and Bob's even clapping along, and they're all happy, now they're the face. But it's just like, and then instead of stopping the press and going, wait, this woman is the cause of all this mess, like she's got to go to jail, they just turn her and go, "We own you now." And it's just
Yeah,
like,
well, Yelena, yeah. It's like, nah, I don't think you do.
no. And it just is like, I don't know, because obviously if they said the whole story and you realize that Sentry and Void are the same person, it's also going to become a mess for him, and they don't want to do that, and it could make the problem worse. But still, it was just
Yeah.
like, it was a move to save her own butt. And and instead
But
of
they
like,
gave it to her because she's like, yeah, we own you. I was like, well, you kind of just did exactly what the fuck she wanted to. So who owns who? Because you could be like, whoa, no. Oh, whoa, hold the presses. This is all bullshit. No, we just almost died because of this bitch. They didn't do that.
right.
They're just like, oh, yeah, Avengers. Yeah, we want to be Avengers. Yep. So.
Yeah. So I mean,
Still
it's
dig it.
like
Still
they
dig it.
got to be the Avengers based on a lie, essentially.
Hey, I don't think it matters.
No.
Someone said, Don, you're an X-Men, but like, hey, fuck yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I have some issues with how that all panned out, but it is where we is. It is where we is, and I feel like you're going to get, you know, Sam Wilson's Avengers versus the new Avengers.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter, not one bit. I think it's a one-off, which is how I feel about it. And I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that.
No, I don't think it's a one-off. I don't. I think because here's the thing, right? Because they're the new Avengers at the end, and it did say the new Avengers Bob will return at the very end of the movie. Now that does this now technically count as the 5th Avengers movie?
Nope, counts as the first new Avengers movie. But I'm okay with that.
Semantics.
Yeah. Hey, English language. But I will tell you that I have added something to my bucket list of Marvel movies.
Oh, okay.
Because of this movie, and that is, I want Red Guardian and Colossus to have a scene together. I don't know what it is about somewhat jovial, high moral, high character guys, strong guys with Russian accents that makes me such a fanboy. But it is what it is.
Should I be worried about you, Don? I mean,
no, not at all. I
okay.
I am married with 3 children. I am secure in my masculinity and sexuality, and I can acknowledge when I'm a fan of shit that may question that, but again, I'm secure in all that. So no, don't worry about me. Just it's I listen. I never read a comic in my life that featured the Red Guardian, but now here I am wanting to see him in more MCU movies. So again, particularly, I would like to see him and Colossus in their Russian way. So yeah,
Russian bears do it for you. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I that could be fun. But I saw a meme today. I've seen it before, and I'm like, yeah, they missed an opportunity with the Infinity War movie, where when Doctor Strange and Tony Stark met, there should have been a no shit Sherlock moment. But anyway,
yeah,
they both played Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, I just but they're the two that sell the movie, Elena and Red Guardian, like 100%.
Yes. Well, yes, Yelena and Red Guardian, and I think they do a pretty good job with making John Walker a little bit more sympathetic. I think Bucky, he's Bucky. I don't know. He's like the anchor to the whole thing. He's just, super badass.
I feel like
Wife likes the way he looks.
He's gonna be the anchor for this whole phase.
Yeah,
I really feel like that's where they're going with it.
As far as complaints go, so we've touched upon most of them. I actually think this story is ass, but I don't care. Yelena, I do not understand why she has her little diamond earrings and green mascara on the whole fucking movie. I don't understand what super spy is doing any of that, although I've already acknowledged this is kind of her movie, but that was the one thing that was kind of taking me out a little bit. Go ahead.
I mean, you got to realize, like, it's what's happening to them is one continuous event from the time they're at the vault to escaping to being in the limo. Like, that's all. Like, so when does she have time to like clean up and whatnot? And women will keep their earrings in. Like, that's a common thing. Why did she wear diamond earrings on a mission is another question altogether. But we're not women, so we can't answer those questions.
Yeah, no, I'm no fashionista, so there could be somebody out there watching right now that's like, "Holy fuck, Don, shut up! That was fire," and we'd like to hear from you in the comments. But I didn't get that part. So
the EFAP show did 9 hours on Thunderbolts. We're not going 9 hours. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know who EFAP is, but I'm suspecting some mental illness there.
Sorry, Thrawn. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I mean that's a weird. I did have another complaint. I can't remember. Oh, this is a silly one. But like, so what is the captain's shield made out of? Right? Like,
yeah,
is it vibranium? Is it something else? Like, they don't explain it, but obviously it's bulletproof and it has some of the.
I always assumed it was another vibranium shield, but yeah,
so did I.
Sentry
bends it in half,
like a taco.
Folds it like a taco, and the after credit scene, which we'll talk about in a second, is 14 months later, and he's still got a shield folded like a taco. And it's like,
there's even a picture of him like sitting on it like a Bronco. Did you see
that? Yes. In the end credits. But it's like, come on, like, they have government funding. They're in the tower. They can't get anyone from Wakanda to come and fix the shield.
Exactly. That's exactly. I was about to say he could at least go get a Wakandan shield.
Yeah, I mean, and they have a good connection with Bucky. Bucky can go and have them help him out, and it was just like,
obviously. By the way, Wakandan tech is dishwasher safe.
So. Yes, because he just his arm in the dishwasher, and it can be smushed a little bit by Sentry and still be working. He got pulled off, but he was able to put it back on and use it, which was a little silly as well. But what do I know? So yeah, like, that was just weird. Like, I get, like, I hate when they do things for gags and then keep them going. Like, okay, he bent the shield, but like 14 months later, you would have had it fixed,
Yeah. What did you think about the when the Sentry as a meth addicted person in a chicken suit? I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, like, all the stuff in the Void is a little, not all of it, but a lot of it's a little weird. Yeah. And then like they punch him in the face. The strung out Elena. I was shocked that they didn't do a memory with her and
Black Widow.
Black Widow
Nat.
as kids. Nat, yeah, like they didn't show a regret with her and Natalie from being kids. Like,
ScarJo apparently was not ready to make a cameo.
well, not, but you don't even have to use Scarlett Johansson. Like, just do it when they're teenagers and like have the same young actors from the Black Widow movie. Well, I guess they're older now, so maybe you can't. But kids that look like them and do something there, and then people are like, there's a mention of Nat. I'm happy now, you know. Like, but no, they didn't do that for us, bastards.
I have one other complaint. So you,
okay. No, go ahead.
The ending, how they get past the Sentry problem
by a love fest, hugging them.
Well, right. I mean, they literally do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing where the power of togetherness, won the day. I understand they needed to come up with a reason how all of the, again, let's face it, the most powerful people in the Thunderbolts were like super serum people, which are not going to stand up to Sentry. So I knew they needed to come up with some sort of Deus Ex Machina to get past him. I didn't expect the friendship hug to be it, though. I didn't.
No, and that's the thing. It's like I was hoping for a Doctor Strange type ending where they outthink the Void,
right?
And by outthinking him somehow makes him like realize, oh, what he's doing is wrong, and then Bob comes back,
right?
But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's very. I hate using terms like this, but I'm sure I haven't seen any, but I'm sure there are going to be people online who are going to go, it was a very woke ending. Like, oh, let's solve our problems with hugs and not violence,
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I guess. Because again, right, if you're going to make the Sentry the bad guy, you can't have 3 super soldiers and a person with teleportation powers and somebody with no powers go up against them. Elena can fight, but she doesn't have any powers. So yeah, like they needed a way to do it. So yeah, and then tied into the ending, and it's such a stupid complaint, but it was just like, why wasn't he in the Sentry costume when they came out of the Void? Why was he, back in the clothes back to Bob and those clothes from his memory? Like, it just seemed weird. Everyone else was still in their costumes, but he wasn't. It was just like, okay. I mean, I guess physics doesn't mean anything in these movies. So, and I'm going to say this too, and this is the forever complaint with any kind of greater universe. We're in New York, where all the superheroes live. And okay,
I'm so glad you're doing this.
You can argue Doctor Strange is off planet because he's dealing with an incursion, but Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, he didn't step in and do anything. Okay, maybe Banner isn't in New York right now, but like none of the Avengers, like,
so,
or none of the other heroes.
My overarching retort to that, because I thought that too. I'm like, what's going on here? Okay, so I'm just going to put this out there. The Sentry doing the Void thing. I could see how some of those characters, particularly Vaughn, he's in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Boom, all of a sudden he's in the Void. You're right. Bruce Banner, Hulk, he should still kind of be around. Thor, Peter. I think he's up in Mary Jane's guts, maybe. I don't know. I'm sorry, that was incredibly crass.
No, because we're in a world where they don't know who he is. He's living in it, and he's living in an apartment in Manhattan at the end of No Way Home.
Peter Parker should be on the board. Thor. Is he dealing with the gore, the God Butcher shit then? Can we safely say he's dealing with Love and Thunder, or what? Is he on the board,
No,
really?
he should be on. I mean, he's raising a daughter, so I don't know. Like,
Oh,
that's
that's
where we left
right.
him. We left him with his.
Holy
With this.
fuck. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, he's raising a kid. So he's like, fuck it. Captain America, okay, he's off the board. Iron Man's dead. Black Widow dead.
Well, that's another thing too, right? Like, Bucky was just like, "Oh, well, you're the people I have, so you're going to come with me to stop her, and we're going to use you to." First, it was like, "Oh, we're going to use it to put her in jail," but then, things are getting out of hand. So, okay, we're going to go break in, blah blah blah. Going to use you, but like, he didn't call Sam or anyone else for backup
Didn't
just in
call
case.
Sam, didn't call Rhodey.
Right. Like,
Um,
all these people are still on the board and they're still actively, involved in the government, the military, and our heroes. Like would
yeah.
War Machine and non powered Cap be able to do anything? No, but they should have shown up, at least get a cameo and have them disappear into the void, and then that's it. And then
Honestly, man, I think this is something we're gonna have to deal with for a while now. And it happens in the comics. I mean,
yeah, I know.
it's
I
like,
love
oh,
when I
go ahead.
love how they did deal with this for a long time in Spider-Man comics, when he was dealing with a big threat, and it would be like, he's like, "Oh, I went by the Fantastic Four building, but no one was home," and then they'll have like a
Yeah.
little thing like, "They were off world dealing with blah blah blah," a little
Yeah.
caption. It's like, "I stopped by the Avengers mansion, and Jarvis said that they're in Wakanda helping Black Panther," and it's true. Like, they would explain why Spidey had to go against himself, go against some, like, the Beyonder or something. But like, yeah, now I don't think they do that as much in the comics anymore either. It's just like, nah, it's just not part of the story. And now but
Yeah.
but again, we've dealt with it for a long time in the comics, but people in the
They could already be dealing with the Battle World shit, though. I don't
yeah,
know if that's the answer, but it could be.
could be.
Could be.
I mean, we know that
And-
Strange is dealing with incursions. That's how
right. And
Multiverse Madness.
and are you ready to move on to the end credits shit yet, or do you still got more to say about?
No, let's talk about the end credits. I mean,
Okay.
the first end credit scene was what?
Doesn't matter. It's a funny little thing.
It's
feel like
Red
me
Guardian
like
and the
yeah,
Wheaties, yeah.
the
box.
Wheaties box. Oh, do you recognize me from the Wheaties box?
So let's start
anyway.
off with it says 14 months later, and they're in the Avengers
14
Tower.
months later. Yeah.
14 months puts us in what, June or July?
Yep.
July of 2026. What comes out then? Brand New Day.
Yes.
So this is
Yeah.
going to tie into Brand New Day in some way, shape, or form. Like,
oh, big time, because again, we said the first end credit scene, okay, whatever, it's music, is funny. Ha ha ha. The second end credit scene is damn near a spoiler for the Fantastic Four movie.
oh,
Not
very
damn
much
near,
so.
it is. Because in the second end credit scene, we really learned two significant things. The first thing we learned is that Sam Wilson is putting his own Avengers team together
Uh-huh.
and has taken exception with the new Avengers, in which Red Guardian suggests they just change the S to a Z. They become the Avengers.
No copyright issue.
And no copyright issue. No issue. You wear the same thing I'm wearing. Stylish. Anyway.
I want one of those jumpsuits.
But the other thing we fucking learned, though, is these new Avengers get a notification that an interdimensional craft,
yeah,
or whatever, is up in space near Earth, and then they get a visual on it, and right away, I didn't even need the little turn to see the 4 symbol,
right?
but I'm like, oh fuck, that's the Fantastic Four. So that confirms what we've already been told, is that the Fantastic Four are coming from another dimension.
Yep.
And so here they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad for that confirmation that this isn't they weren't just around in the past. Like, they are from another dimension, that it's like the Earth in the 60s. So that's good. And it also maybe is a spoiler that they're going to end up going to another dimension at the end of the thing. And is it like, we don't know why, right? I mean, there's an argument that, like, they screw up so bad, Galactus actually wins, so they leave in the ship to go and end up in another dimension. Maybe going down the Reed becoming the Maker kind of storyline. But we'll see. But yeah, like, I agree. It's kind of a big spoiler for Fantastic Four. There's so many implications. Like we said, you're going to have two fighting Avengers teams that will eventually team up, obviously, but like, they're going to be against each other. Apparently they're setting that up. Like, so many implications to the MCU just from the end of this movie and the after credits scene. Like, okay, let's go. Like, they're setting stuff up.
Exciting, right? It's
like,
right.
They're setting stuff up. Let's pay it off. Like, that's my biggest worry, because they've set stuff up before. Then it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, this is officially the end of Phase 5. So.
Okay. And Fantastic Four kicks off Phase 6. Is that
Phase 6?
That's what this is? Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yep.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Okay. So let rewind, go back to my point. You usually end a phase with an Avengers movie. So there you go. We ended it with the new Avengers. Haha, they got you. Haha, you weren't expecting it.
Right. Crisscross.
So, all right. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where the future goes. But let's I mean, you gave your score. Let's see if you still stick by it. Let's wrap it up. Let's give a score. Final thoughts on Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. I will say, after some thoughts, I will bump my score down to 8. To 8. I'm really annoyed by their naming convention. There was no need for them to do that. So that's the thing that has taken me away from my post Thunderbolts high. I really am annoyed by that.
Can we also stop back, because I remember saying, when they announced this movie, and I remember JD being so excited because he's like, I love the Thunderbolts, which people argued, like, are they just making the MCU version of Suicide Squad?
Great point.
Thank God they didn't.
Yes.
But he was like, and I was just like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's more Dark Avengers than Thunderbolts, and I kind of feel like maybe they should have called this movie Dark Avengers, like, because they could have been like, well, what are we, some kind of Dark Avengers? Like, that could have been the thing.
You know what? Here's why I'm actually happy that I was wrong about them dubbing them the Dark Avengers. Because to me, the Dark Avengers are villains fulfilling the roles of established heroes.
Right.
And that's not what we had here. We had anti-heroes saving the day.
Yeah. All right.
So
I'll give you that.
I do ultimately agree with their decision not to dub them the Dark Avengers.
All right. So you're sticking with an 8, or no? You mean you're going to an 8?
With 8.
All right. I don't know. I highly enjoyed it. I like the character work. I do think that the way they defeat the enemy is a little lame. It is a little Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, but the strength of this movie,
is the character,
which makes it a good movie, is the character. Or a good story. I mean, fuck movies. Story is the characters.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to go with your original score of 8.5. So yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Maybe we got it right. Maybe we got it wrong.
No, we
Let us
got it
know
right.
in
Fuck everybody who doesn't think otherwise.
Let us know in the comments down below if you saw Thunderbolts and what you thought of it and what you think it means for the future of the MCU. But with all that said, let us ask the question that we do every week.
What did we learn on the show tonight?
Or recommendations. What do you got? What do you got for me, Don?
I learned on the show tonight that me and you are in lockstep as far as identifying that the strength of this content, Thunderbolts Asterix, is the fact that they took a couple of characters, really did some good development, and made them enjoyable and entertaining to watch, even in lieu of a story that, quite frankly, is shit. So, but we got great characters, made the story good, and enjoyed it.
You know what? Yeah, I concur. And it's funny because I didn't say that. I forgot to say this too. I didn't think I would ever care about Elena as a character, and this movie like totally changed that perspective for me. Like I think she's a great character now. So yeah, I concur. I learned that that we definitely agree. As long as it's got really good characters and it's well executed, you can get a great movie like this. So yeah. I'm going to recommend, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but my girlfriend and I started watching Ted Lasso, and we're really enjoying it. And I know we're 3 years late, but we're just started season 1 a couple weeks ago, and we're currently almost done season 1. We'll probably be starting season 2 on
Do
Thursday.
I need to like watch that during work or something so we could talk about it? Or
no, it's not comic related at all, but it is like if you want a feel good TV show like that'll make you feel some things, I highly recommend it. Of course, it's on Apple TV. What?
Yeah. I don't like feeling things.
Oh well, I know. But
11 years of marriage will do that to you. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god! On that note, before Don really gets himself in trouble, I think we need to put a pin in it till we get together again on Wednesday. But as always, thanks for watching. And don't let your cake get caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting for? Visit our merch store. But before you click away,